Hey, so I made a video yesterday about the Infrastructure Act and the multiple car companies that now have patents for AI surveillance in cars that will be mandated in any car made after 2027. Basically, they're saying for our safety, they're going to allow AI in our cars to stop if the AI detects that we are intoxicated. Someone commented that this is preparation for the New World Order, and someone else asked, what does this mean? Because I keep seeing it everywhere. I'm no expert, but I did want to discuss this because I actually planned to in my video yesterday, but ADHD. By the way, I'm not saying none of this is factual. This is just a conspiracy theory. But when these theories start to line up and play out in real life, you do have to question. So the EPA is allowing our gas to be cut with more ethanol, which will destroy older cars, kind of pushing us into electric cars in a way. So the New World Order, so a lot of people believe that everything will be exposed, systems will collapse in order for a new system to be built. Y'all see what they're doing to the educational system, the medical system, all the truths coming out, like the cancer declassified parasite document, and now plant medicine being looked into for addiction and mental illness. And then the entertainment industry, for some, everything was exposed there, and some of us decided to no longer support them, even though other people are still attending concerts and getting hype over things like the Met Gala. Y'all disgust me, by the way. If you feel offended, you should. I'm not sorry. Also, religion. So they're saying that there will be a completely fake, allegedly, second coming, and then the rise of the Antichrist. Basically, the end of the world. And when the world doesn't end, people that were super religious will start to question their faith. Even politics, like the political parties with Erica Kirk. If you believe that shit show, it's so theatrical that you would be a fool to still tune in and believe with your whole heart that they're not playing in your face. They're playing in your fucking faces. Allegedly, there'll be social credit scores, kind of like the driving risk scores I talked about yesterday, where if you do something, you'll lose your privileges based on the score you have. The alleged goal is depopulation. Nothing will be privately owned. That means property and businesses, they'll be mandated, those things. Allegedly. Basically, the elites of the world, the ones that y'all are still worshiping as we speak, they'll be governing everything. There'll be every country has a government. There'll be one government ruling everything. That's the conspiracy theory, just for clarity. We'd also be under constant surveillance, and they would be in control of everything. So kind of like right now, but on steroids. We wouldn't work because AI would do everything for us. We would get a universal basic income, and if we do anything that they don't like or it's not approved, the money could be taken away from us, or we could lose our privileges. For example, and keep in mind that this is completely hypothetical, but if you say or do something that slightly criticizes the government, they could take away your driving privileges for a week. And if you think that sounds too unbelievable, keep in mind that they just revised what is considered domestic terrorism. Things that you say online now, even if it's not violent in any way, can now be considered political violence despite the First Amendment. This was detailed in a document last September, the National Security Presidential Memorandum, and then there was a leaked memo. This memo directed the FBI and other agencies to create a list of people online that criticize the government, anti-American, criticize capitalism, everything I talk about. So I already know. Also anti-Christian, anti-immigration, and groups that show support for radical gender ideology. So basically, if you read Agenda 2030, and I put leaked in quotations because I really don't feel like this was leaked, there wouldn't be so much content being pushed. I wouldn't be able to make this video. I sincerely believe that they want us to see certain things, just like the Charlie Kirk video was everywhere in your face. You couldn't escape it because they want to evoke emotion. Allegedly. Monsters, Inc. was a documentary. You can laugh. I truly believe it. Every day is a news story. Our heads are on swivel. Everything is energy. Our energy is powerful, and I don't even want to get into that, but I just want people to be aware of what's being talked about, like the possible conspiracy theories, and also what's actually happening, like the video I made yesterday. And I promise I'm not trying to fearmonger, but with the expansion of online monitoring, you can become a criminal for doing a constitutionally protected activity, from joining a protest or posting something online. Someone like me will be placed in a data center. There's a conspiracy theory going around that all of these data centers are actually prisons for people that are not going to follow all of their rules. They're popping up everywhere, but if you still think there's not enough room, guess what? They also reintroduced the firing squad as a method of execution. So don't have to worry about any prisons being overcrowded. Now, I'm going to read some things that I'm just now learning from a DOJ report. I'm no expert, and I don't want to get anything wrong. Linking terrorism to the firing squad. While domestic terrorism itself is not a standalone federal capital crime, the current administration is pushing for legislative changes that would bridge the gap. Expanded capital crimes. A 2026 DOJ report recommended that Congress pass legislation making murders committed in the commission of material support for terrorism or domestic violence eligible for federal death penalty. No mercy proposals. Legislation like the No Mercy for Terrorists Act aims to strengthen federal penalties for providing material support to terrorist organizations. Enforcement against content creators. Legal experts warn that if material support is broadly redefined to include online promotion or digital assistance, content creators could theoretically face these extreme penalties if their actions are linked to a fatal event. And just to make sure nothing goes unnoticed, they're also targeting social media platforms. The Stop Hate Act. This bipartisan bill would require social media companies to submit regular reports to the U.S. Attorney General on how they moderate content from groups designated by the government as terrorists. Platforms could face fines of $5 million per day for failing to comply with these federal reporting and moderation standards. Do y'all think they're going to risk $5 million a day? No. They're definitely snitching. And another part of this theory that some people believe, which again has no fact to it, the only countries that are rejecting the idea of an NWO happen to coincidentally be the only countries that have been involved in a war in these recent years. Go figure.